This is reposted.
Not nice. All right, you ready?
Ready?
It is in three, two, one. Before we started recording today, I cut off one of my ears in honor of the originator of this quote, Pablo Picasso. He says, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." I really like this idea of not being held up by something already existing to stop you from doing it. I think everything that's been successful has been grown from something that's already existing. What do you
I
think?
hope you're going to mail me your ear.
I am gonna mail it, and you're gonna be in the middle of a desert, and a FedEx truck's gonna get it, and it's gonna be attached to my head, and then the
You know, I
movie
was uh,
Seven will end.
I was driving with a buddy once, and he happened to be black, and I was playing my Sting collection for him, and then a Coldplay song came on. He's like, "Hey man, all these white guys, they all sound alike, right?" And and if you think about, like, if you're a young musician starting out and you learn Led Zeppelin riffs,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably going to end up sounding like Led Zeppelin, right?
Right.
Like, you artists are probably viewing art and then somewhat copying them. So therefore, it's just natural that there will be some, not theft, but parody of
Influence.
the art.
Yeah, influence. I mean, it was really popular in the 90s when hip hop started doing sampling and all sorts of songs started coming back, or even Vanilla Ice, the doon 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 doon. Like everyone thought that Vanilla Ice came up with the sweet hook, but he stole it from, I can't remember, but that was like from the 80s, 70s.
No, was it Queen, right?
Maybe.
I think
Maybe
it
a
was Queen.
fact checker can reach out at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, like, I looked it up and other stuff. So, like, Thomas Edison is historically credited with the light bulb, but I looked it up, and apparently Gene Foucault, Humphrey Davy,
Ew.
J.W. Starr we're all like toying with the idea. So just because something exists doesn't, I mean, the best is going to win out.
I was about to say this quote for me, everything gets copied, right? Like, there was MySpace and then Facebook did it better.
Right.
Snapchat was the disappearing stories thing. Like, that was their whole big thing 10 years ago. Now everybody has, like, anything that happens in the world, and if it's good, someone's going to copy it.
Right. Or Phil Knight taking Nike to be the number one shoe, or I guess athletic company in the world, or podcast. I mean, I guess maybe this show is going to be us listing things that have already been an idea that were just made better. I think to me, it's like, don't be held back by thinking something already exists. Like, oh, I can't become a chef, or I can't do whatever because someone else has already done it, but like you can do it better.
Yeah. And, whatever it was that drew you into it, whether it was, a band that drew you to make music, you don't have to stick with that formula. You can expand on what something's doing. I think that's what art has always done. It's someone taking maybe a style and then branching out and making it their own. Restaurant, business, whatever it is, you make it your own. And then it's truly your own, not a copy anymore.
Yeah, and we were talking about something completely different before we started recording, but I guess it's also your perspective, and the definition of steal in this instant is subjective. Like, if you're trying to straight up plagiarize people, it's not going to work out, but like steal from this idea. A lot of times in acting, a bunch of different acting coaches have been like, watch your favorite actor and try to recreate their scene and steal thoughts that they might have had to be able to use in your work. Steve Jobs did this with Apple.
And you're combining, I mean, you're just basically taking what they have and combining what you have. Another way to look at this too, sometimes, like, you're honoring someone else by taking bits of what they have
Yeah.
and not necessarily trying to use it for your own, but honoring the legacy they left.
What does this look like for you when you're teaching your kids how to play sports or how to do anything? Does this come into it at all?
I mean, sports is the easy one, right? Because they were big Kobe fans, right? They want to kind of play like Kobe. They see Lionel Messi from Barcelona. They want to play soccer. So sports is the easy one because you can watch it and then you can try to imitate it. You can't do it, but you kind of see those key moves they have, and then they want to do those.
Yeah, or even I guess with your writing style, like you were saying with musicians, if you're influenced by a certain author, you're gonna maybe trend to be able to come up with ideas more in line with that.
I'll also say probably with comedians, like if you were a black comedian coming up, Eddie Murphy's talked about this, right? They all memorized Richard Pryor albums. They all tried to do that and then did something else. Like it's inevitable in art. You start somewhere.
Right. Or I guess pastors steal from the Bible and talk about, I mean, that's got to be because that's a finite amount of words that you can preach on, and people have been preaching on it for thousands of years. Like you're going to be stealing from someone before you.
You're going to hell.
Shocked.
You are going to hell. You are Pastor Steele, you're going to hell. That's it.
Oh man. Well, if you have a phone number for Joel Olstein, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Please reach out. I'm Andrew Keller for The Lawyer saying thanks for stopping by.